Tampa Bay Bandits, currently a record of 4-1. They lead the Central Division of the USFL, but they suffered a humiliating loss to Chicago a week ago. They'd like to redeem themselves, and so would their leader, veteran quarterback John Reaves. He needs more passes like this one to Eric Trevelyan. Reaves enters this evening's game with these stats. He's the 5th-ranking passer in the league. Better than 1,200 yards and almost 56% of his passes completed. The little tailback, Greg Boone, will help Reaves out this evening. He's been a pleasant surprise. The rookie from Duke, 3rd leading rusher in the league behind only Calvin Bryant and Herschel Walker. On the flip side of the coin, the Denver Gold. They're the hottest team in the league. 3 victories in a row have gained them a tie for first place with Los Angeles in the Pacific Division. Ken Johnson has been their leader offensively, although a look at his tape, and you wouldn't think so, but he's done nothing but win. 11th in the season. Only 12 quarterbacks ranked in the league. Only 477 yards. But Johnson has won 3 straight football games. And he's had some help, especially from his tight end, Bob Nizolik. He goes to him in the clutch, and Nizolik can ride defenders with the best of them. Nizolik had 1 pro season of experience with the Detroit Lions, and he's the leading receiver for the Denver Gold. The Tampa Bay Bandits battle the Denver Gold. 2 division leaders knocking heads tonight on ESPN. From Mile High Stadium in Denver, Colorado, ESPN presents Saturday night USFL football. The Tampa Bay Bandits against the Denver Gold. Let's take a look at the guys that'll do the job tonight. McCullochek, Norris, Van Dyne, Winters, and Mackey up front for Tampa Bay. Gillespie and Danny Buggs are the wide receivers for the Bandits, and then Lewis Gilbert is their tight end. Their offensive backfield, Sam Platt is the fullback. John Reaves, of course, leads the offensive attack. And Greg Boone, their leading rusher, is the tailback. Defensively, Red Miller sends up the 3-4. Turner, Short, and White, the 3 up linemen. Their 4 linebackers, Durkin, Kancik, Putz Schultz. Remember, he scored on that fake punter. Then Dr. Doom, Johnny Bearfield at the outside linebacker spot. The secondary, Martin, Sullivan, Lewis, and David Dumars. And then offensively for Red Miller, his front line, Hoppick, Hausauer, Tom Davis is the center. He'll anchor the offensive 5. Glenn Hyde and Steve Rogers. And then the wide receivers, Lionel Fayette and Vic James. Watch for Vic James. He's starting in place of Ballas this evening. The tight end we told you about, Bob Nizolik. He'll get the call in the clutch situations. Harry Sidney, averaging better than 6 yards a carry. He's Denver's leading rusher. Ken Johnson will be the quarterback, and Bo Matthews out of the University of Colorado at fullback. Tampa Bay's defensive unit, they likely play the 3-4 times Nordgren and Ramey. Then the 4 linebackers, Washington, Porowski, Tyson, and Keith Clark. The secondary of Tampa Bay, they've been vulnerable. Leon Williams, Glenn Edwards, Jeff George, who returned an interception for a touchdown against Philadelphia, and then Doug Bodewin. Those are the lineup you'll see this evening. Tampa Bay's Bandits visiting Denver against the Gold at Mile High Stadium in Denver, Colorado. This should be the matchup that you've all been waiting to see. Tampa Bay in first place in the Atlantic Division. Denver tied for first in the Pacific Division. Let's now go to Mile High Stadium live to Tom Kelly and Paul McGuire.
Thank you very much, Kevin. A great crowd expected, and they're coming in droves and bunches, and we should have well over 40,000 on hand for this football game tonight. And you can see Old Glory as the wind is coming out of the north at 10 miles an hour. Temperature 50 degrees, and the field very dry. A lot of blue sky up above. It's going to get a bit chilly, Paul, I'm sure, as the game goes along. Steve Spurrier, who had a bit of a stay here with Red Miller not that many years ago, 1977, and Red cut him right after the preseason. Steve may have a point or two to prove to the old coach tonight. Speaking of the old coach, there's Robert Red Miller, head coach. In 77, incidentally, he took the Denver Broncos to the Super Bowl. He was coach of the year. It'll be Andrew Zishin to kick off out of UCLA for the Tampa Bay Bandits. And it'll be the Denver Gold to receive. And the deep man in the middle is Linnell Fee. Also back with him, Glenn Ford and Ricky Haar. The ball coming to Fee at about the 2-yard line. To the 5, hit it about the 8, and down he goes. So the Bandits down underneath that was Jeff George, a quarterback. He'll get credit for the tackle. Mark the ball at about the 9-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Denver on their own 9. Sidney is in. Quarterback, of course, is Ken Johnson. And Matthews, Bo Matthews, out of the University of Colorado, is the fullback.
I did Denver a couple of weeks ago, and what they like to do, whether they'll throw down here or not, but they like to come out and establish the run first of all.
And they set up in the I formation. Vic James is the lone receiver, set to the right side. Quarterback is Johnson. It's been a bit of a surprise for Red Miller. And the pitch is back, and that's Sidney trying the right side of the line, and the Tampa Bay Bandits, who are very tough against the run. Not as tough as Denver has been against the run, but very adequate against it, are there to make the stop.
These are two teams that are pretty similar against the run, and one of the things that we've seen so far in 5 weeks of the USFL is that the pass defense has on most teams has been a little bit shaky. So, like I said before, Denver likes to run the ball right at the beginning. They may come out and throw it.
That loss on the play back to the 6-yard line is going to be 2nd down and 13. Ken James is set wide to the right. Wide to the left is Fee. James in motion. The pitch is back. Turning the corner, trying to at any rate, is Bo Matthews. He gets out close to the 10-yard line. In to make the stop was Merv Croker, inside linebacker.
The guy that really makes his plays, you take a look at the corner man, Jeff George, number 33. He's going to come up and force the play back to the inside. He takes on the tackle, and then you're going to see Merv Croker. He's going to come in, number 52, the inside linebacker, and makes an excellent play. They got back about a yard.
They're up at about the 9-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and very nearly 10 yards to go. Opening series for the Denver goal, Bo Matthews. So far in this 83 campaign, has 83 yards and 20 carries. And again, Fee and James, that's wide, back to split. Johnson back to throw. Incomplete. Tried to hit Sidney, who I guess, Paul, is not only his best running back, but his best receiver and favorite target.
Yeah, he does it all for this team, and they like the way he runs. He's a free agent type guy. But they went to the nickelback situation. They Tampa Bay. And number 20, Tim Groves, was right up there to take the short man.
I doubt that Red Miller would pull it this early in the game as we see Gillespie awaiting the kick. But as Paul indicated to you in our pregame comments, Choate, who's a linebacker who sets up as a blocking back in this punting alignment. As we have George back to kick it away, took the snap from center with 58 yards for a touchdown. So Red Miller is liable to try anything, and has so far in the young going, but too early in the game for that. The punt by Gort. The fair catch is signaled for by Gillespie, and James ran into him and knocked him flat, and a flag comes down.
Tom, the reason the flag comes down, take a look when he puts up the fair catch. It's right at the last second. But James was there. The reason he hit him is not penalty is not because of the fair catch, because he has to give him room to catch the ball. The flag is at the 45, and they've moved the ball to the Denver side of midfield now at the 49. And as Tampa Bay takes over, whether it be at their 45 or the Denver 49 or wherever, they're going to have good field position. The officials, Dave Kamansky is the referee, as he goes back to where Gillespie was standing trying to field that kick. And now we're going to have a 15-yarder down to the 40-yard line. And indeed, Tampa Bay starts in excellent field position.
First down, Tampa Bay.
That's just an example of somebody going down, and James is the guy, number 81 for Denver, of going down and not knowing where the ball is. You've got to be aware of where the ball is and where the man is going to return. Gillespie is going to be.
Bugs is set to the left and Gillespie to the right. John Reaves quarterbacking the Tampa Bay Bandits. He hands off, it's straight ahead. Boone inside the 35 and to about the 33-yard line, and Fairfield, outside linebacker on the left, makes the stop. John
Bob, something that you and I talked about earlier this afternoon. Take a look at there's the full-scale blitz by Denver, and they're picked up very well. Boone just gets through the one man. That's Kancic, number 51, and picks up about 7 yards.
Boone in this season, 320 yards, second down and 4, gain of 6. Coming in motion, Gillespie. Flat. Grabs as he gets to the line of scrimmage by LaBelle Short. And very little yardage, if any, maybe a couple to the 32 as Short reached up from his nose guard spot and horse-collared Flat, dropping him almost in his track. Put it at the 32. It'll be 3rd and 2, Tampa Bay.
It's something I mentioned that you and I talked about earlier this afternoon. Take a look at the two teams. You just don't want to give John Reaves that much time to throw the ball, so I expect to see Denver blitz maybe 60% of the time this season.
There's an interesting stat. 36% third down conversion rate for the Tampa Bay Bandits. There's Flat on the sweep. Oh, beautiful move. First down as he carries to the 25. And Paul, it looked like a lot of black shirts over there, but he just scampered between the whole crowd.
There were a lot of black shirts over there, but Greg Boone, number 21, the fullback, watch the block he gets. 2 guys on the outside. He's the guy in front of Flat. He takes one, and there's a guy right behind him. And he opens the hole and opens it up for a first down. Excellent play by the fullback.
Dumars made the stop, and you mentioned Boone, and what a great bit of coverage we had to show you how well he can block. Steve Spurrier says if he wasn't such a magnificent runner, he'd be our #1 blocking back. And he does both so well, we have to use him as best we can in given situations. Back to throw. Got a bit of a rush, Reaves did. Was trying to hit Gillespie in a crossing pattern, and influenced greatly by that onrush of the Denver Gold. What I'm saying is that Boone is not only a fine running back and the best one on the Tampa Bay club, but he is an outstanding blocker. And, of course, he played for Spurrier up at Duke. He's not a big guy, Paul. In fact, he's a little guy, but tough football.
And you like to see it. You know, like you said, he's a little guy, but when he comes out, he knows where to position his body to block the big linebackers. He's not a kind of guy that's going to go out there and overpower anybody. He's going to take you right at the knees where you have to.
So it is now 2nd down and 10 as Reaves walks to the line of scrimmage. That gained the 24-yard line at the Denver Gold. High formation. Gillespie in motion. Play action. Reaves to throw and has time over the middle. And as he gets it, he's drilled. That's Boone again. And the linebacker coming up very quickly, Jerkin, to make the stop. Excuse me, Flat, not Boone, and Jerkin right there to drop him at the 20.
Play action pass by Reaves. That's to try to hold the linebackers. He doesn't have anybody open. Good secondary coverage by Denver. And he finally finds Flat and picks up a few yards.
Just nosed inside the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and at least 6. Flat came into the ball game with 8 receptions. 3rd and 6, Tampa Bay at the Denver 20. And this highly partisan crowd, and do they love their football in the Mile High City, urging the Gold on. Big rush. Great completion. Flat again. Close to the first down. We'll have to wait and see it. It's very close. And what a great job Reaves did, and they were right down on top of him, Paul.
The 2 outside linebackers came, and I think Gherkin, number 50, is one of the guys that gets to Reaves from the backside as he gets hammered by the other side. But he did find Flat. And the man covering him is Tom Sullivan. He just didn't pick up the back coming out of the backfield.
They've got the ball inside the 15, and it's going to be a first down, I think. They're coming out to measure. We'll be right back. Sweep to the right side, driven out of bounds by Tom Sullivan, among others. It's going to be 2nd and 10 now. Tampa Bay on the Denver 14-yard line. Reaves has the back split, coming this way and being chased and trapped back at the 25. Big Calvin Turner. Paul McGuire, boy, he really on top of Reaves all the way.
Calvin Turner and Gherkin, number 50, were both outside. Reaves is running a bootleg pattern, and it didn't bother Turner at all. He read it very well. He's supposed to stay home. That's his job. And look at the big man, number 1. Or is that 2?
Out of West Virginia, he is the big guy, 6'3", 260. Calvin Turner. The loss puts it back to the Denver 25. And it's going to be 3rd down and 21 for Reaves and the Tampa Bay Bandits. Wide to the right is Gillespie. To the left is Buggs. I formation. That's Gillespie in motion. Big play time for Reaves and company. Pass complete and sliding down the tight end inside the 20 at the 18. That's Lewis Gilbert. Obviously short of the first down. They were talking about inside the 5 for a first down. And we'll see now about Zenit and position and perhaps a field goal. Gherkin was over on defense covering the tight end. And so the kick, the subsequent penalty, the drive to the 14-yard line. So far, the Denver Gold has survived, and now Andrusician, who has tried 9 and made 6 of them, his longest being a 43-yarder, will give it a try from just on the edge of the skin portion here. From the 26, a 36-yard field goal try. The ball is down. It's got the distance, and it's good. So Andrusician hits it through a 36-yard field goal, puts Tampa Bay on the board. And we've got 8:37 remaining in the first period. Tampa Bay 3, Denver nothing. Nell Fee down below getting a bit of a breather on the sidelines. He's the guy that finally caught that pass downfield when Sidney let it go. Paul Sidney's got some kind of an arm. That ball was about 30 yards in the air and about 60 yards downfield.
It really is. He just wound up and threw the football. But then, you know, you make a great play like that, and then he come back and make a mistake like he did there. That was a sweep to the right-hand side. It wasn't there. He tried to turn his field around. And he was, the funny part about it, Tommy was looking for help from Ken Johnson. And Ken said, I'm not blocking anybody. I don't get paid to do that.
It's going to be at any rate 2nd and goal, and the ball is now back out at the Denver 18-yard line. 2nd down and goal. 3-0 in favor of Tampa Bay as we start period number 2. That's Canada shifting over as the backs are set strong left. Pitch to Canada. Knocked off his feet. Coming up to make the hit on him was Tim Groves as he crossed the 10-yard line. And it'll be down to the 8. So it's going to be 3rd and goal at the 8.
He gets an outstanding block by number 24, Sidney. This is a toss to the outside. Watch Sidney take out Gettiger, the linebacker, and that's him on the ground. That number 24 was Sidney. There's Canada picking up 10 for the yards he lost.
Well, you talk about a timing play. Big Walter Carter went right by Johnson and nearly had Johnson football and everything. Just a split second too late to keep that play from developing. Now, 3rd and goal at the 8. Denver trying to get in the end zone. Receiver set wide to the left and right. Johnson with the back split. In the end zone. Threw it too far. James, the intended receiver. George was there, coming over to help out also. Bedoin. And now we're going to see about a 5 for 3, and Spielman comes on the field. Johnson shaking his head, coming to the sideline.
The reason he's shaking his head, Tom, is because he had James open for that split second, and it just took him just a little bit too long to find him and get the ball to him. And by that time, George recovered, the defensive corner man, number 33, and the ball was a little bit too high.
Jeff Knappel is the holder. Now, bear in mind when you see him, number 12, that Knappel was the starting quarterback here for the Denver Gold. And in the first 2 ball games, came up wanting. Johnson came in, took over, and since then, Red Miller's had nothing but 3 straight wins. But watch it. Remember Trick Play Miller. He might have Knappel doing something here. It's going to be a 26-yard try, if indeed they try it. And they do. And they're successful, as Spielman kicks it through, his 2nd of the season. 2 of 3 now for Spielman. So we're all tied with 14 minutes to go in the first half. 3-3 here in Denver. All right, Johnson and quarterback. Sidney and Canada are the setbacks now. They're split in the full alignment. Receiver set to the right side. Ball is at the 17-yard line. 1st and 10. Sidney hit behind the line. Great penetration. And bouncing through there and getting the plaudits of his teammates. Big number 59, Russ Washington, a rookie out of SMU. Oh, Paul, he was in the backfield about the time Sidney got the ball.
You're looking at the middle where you see that the 2 inside linebackers, they get hooked up in there. But Russ Washington, he was outside. He was just waiting on Sidney. Nobody touched him.
It's going to be a loss back. We'll call it the 14-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 13. 11:20 remaining in the first half. B is set to the bottom of your screen. Johnson, the quarterback. Tied at 3. Johnson bobbled the snap a bit. Has time to throw. Now may have to run with it. Upfield. Beautiful throw. Pass complete. With the ball is Ballage, and he's down at the 44-yard line. Hanna makes the stop. Oh, what great presence of mind by Johnson, and Ballage to be available to make that catch.
He makes the right move. He goes to his left when the rush is on. Now he still has time. The offensive line is holding up pretty well, but he breaks back to the outside and just sets up. He doesn't want to run the football. And look at this. Ballage is downfield. First down. Good play.
How about 30 yards on that? That's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line now. Ballage specializes in the long catch, 20 yards for an average. That's pretty good. Ballage is a 2-year pro out of Colorado. Had 3 catches coming into the ball game tonight, none in the end zone. First down, Denver. Johnson. Well, he was leading a charmed life for a while there, but couldn't get away from everybody. Brown was there, and Geddeker, who kind of trapped him. They sandwiched him between them, and we'll see where Kamansky, the official, marks his progress. And he'll be back to the 36. Loss of 8.
Tom, this is the difference of going either right to your left. Now, the last time he went to his left, that's Geddeker is the guy that forces him to the outside. Now he goes back to his right, and he goes right into the big defensive lineman. And when you do that, there's no place to go. Val Brown, number 71, is the man who makes the tackle. You got to love it. 19 sacks.
Tampa Bay, again, very tough against the run, and when the minute Johnson pulled the ball down, he became a runner. I guess that is why their statistics are very good against the run. At any rate, Johnson was caught between a rock and a hard place there, and now it's 2nd and 18. Setting deep, behind the line to Canada. Gets hit. Carries over the 40 out to the 44. He was hit initially by Bedoin. He broke that tackle, and Porowski finally brought him down out to where the line of scrimmage was originally, almost the 44.
Screen pass set up very well. And Johnson, take a look at him now. He'll go back, and he'll slip back out to the outside. He's going to hit there in Canada. Doug Bedoin comes in. Russ Washington misses the play. Look at Bedoin and said, "What is this that hit me? Excuse me." Yeah, you're going to pick up another 7 or 8 yards. That's hard running.
It's going to be 3rd down and just a tad over 10 yards to go, and the ball is backed up to very nearly the original line of scrimmage as we come out of the huddle. There's Larry Canada. B is set to the left. 3rd and 11, they're calling it. Game tied at 3. Tampa Bay shows blitz. Indeed. Wide open. Caught by Sidney at the 40. Oh, what a nice move. Has some blockers. At the 20, on his feet at the 15, the 5, touchdown, Denver. Put it down as a 56-yard pass and run, and Sidney was beautiful in the open field, Paul.
All right, you're going to see what happens here. You've got a free safety blitz, and Geddeker, the linebacker, also comes. It's picked up. The linebacker on the outside did not take Sidney. But watch the moves he makes. He makes one fake to the inside there, another fake to the inside here, and then he's going to fake out George, number 33, right at the end of this run. Another little move to the inside, to his left and back to his right, and goodbye, everybody.
For Johnson, that is his 5th touchdown toss of the year, his 1st tonight. And for Sidney, who was the leading receiver on this ball club coming into this game tonight, that is his 1st touchdown catch of the year. Tried for the extra point. By Spielman is up and good. So with time out on the field and 8:31 remaining here in the first half, Denver with the big play has gone on top. The Gold leads 10-3. Denver 10-3 over Tampa Bay. The final 2 minutes of this first half. Tampa Bay opened the scoring with a 36-yard field goal by Zenon Andrusician, and then that 56-yard pass to Sidney from Johnson made it 7-3, 10-3 after a field goal of 36 yards. And now the big interception as Tampa had driven the ball deep into Denver territory, and we've got a 3rd down and 7 now for Johnson and company. There's Terry Miller in the ball game for the first time tonight out of Oklahoma State. Veteran running back, he's number 43. The ball is at the 12, 3rd and 7. Paul, do you think... Was that really Johnson calling that play a sweep to keep the ball a little lateral, a pitch out? And
That's just an option, quarterback option play. They did that against Chicago. They did it. They even got that play where they have the tight end trail them. And it's a quarterback option. The coaches don't like to run it because you get your quarterback killed.
Third down and 7 now at the 12-yard line. Johnson had a field goal. Decided against it, took a penalty. Back to throw, being chased. Incomplete. Johnson running for his life. Downfield, Miller was knocked down. Ramey was there chasing Johnson and Gettiker. And Miller were all involved in a little shove and push match down there. Both men sprawling in the dirt of the infield here at Denver's Mile High Stadium. The crowd thought there might have been interference. At any rate, now we'll see again about Spielman and a try for a field goal. He'll be closer now. He kicked one a moment ago. He's got a 36-yarder already.
Remember, my friend, they already had 3 on the board and they took it off.
It'll be a 29-yard try this time. Spielman hits it. It's good. And so with time out on the field at 1:51 remaining here in the first half, Denver pads its lead. Denver 13, Tampa Bay 3.
The beginning of the second half is truly an important possession for them. They've got to move the ball and score at least 3 points on this drive. They've got to get the confidence back in their offense.
Steve Spurrier paces the sidelines across the way. That's big Eric Trevelyan behind him, his wide receiver. And that's Jimmy Jordan, reserve quarterback there, huddled on the sidelines, doing a little up and down to keep warm. Gillespie is in the end zone awaiting the kickoff, and also downfield is Platt. That's Spielman getting ready to kick it away to get this third period underway, and Boone is a wide receiver set far to the other side. Spielman has 2 field goals tonight. Denver leading 13-3, and here we go for the second half. Gillespie comes up to the 3-yard line. Tried to get outside and couldn't get away, and down there very quickly was Haar, number 17, to make the stop. Kancik missed him, and Haar was there wearing a brand new jersey. He'd been issued number 27, wanted 17 for some reason or other, probably superstitious. Football players and kickers generally are. And he got 17, changed his number, put it on tonight, and he's probably just happier than... Really, you think so?
Oh, yeah.
The ball is out at the 16-yard line. It is first down for Tampa Bay as we start the third period. Bugs to the bottom of your screen. Trevelyan set to the top. Boone, the lone setback. 2 tight ends to bookend the line. Boone crosses the 15-yard line and then is met by a lot of blue shirts led by Kancik. Bottom of the pile is Gherkin. And now rolling over and climbing off the pile is the big guy, Calvin Turner.
Can't get away from the things that make you score, and that's throwing the football. And I don't care where your field position, especially with this team and with the wide receivers that the Tampa Bay Bandits have, you've got to go back and throw the ball.
Boone is set, Bugs is set to the top of your screen. Cox is in, flank to the bottom. Reaves to throw. Pass complete to his tight end, and that's Young. And over there on defense was Gherkin. Short of the first down, but over the 20 to about the 22-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4 after that pickup of 5 yards.
And I'm watching Reaves throw the ball, and I watched him in the first half, and I want to take a look. We're going to take a look at him in this drive. But Tom, he looks like he's not airing the ball out and just throwing the football like he knows how to do it. He looks like he's trying to guide the ball to the receiver, and when you do that, you're taken off the ball, and the ball starts to float, and it gives the defensive guy enough time to get to it.
2 wide receivers set to the right. One of them is Gilbert. Reaves to throw. 3rd down. Over the middle. Complete. He's got the first down yardage as he hits Boone out of the backfield. Paul, we were talking about that. That was Dumars there to make the stop. He had the big interception earlier. They run those backs that they keep in for a little blocking and just drop them right over the middle.
And this is what he's going to do here. Now, Reaves is looking downfield. He is going to go to Boone. And I think this is all the way to Boone. But this time, he steps up and fires the ball at him. That's the best throw that I've seen. And even though he went 6 for 6, he was still guiding the ball. That time, he threw the ball at Boone. And Boone got down beyond the first down marker.
Not bad statistics, 18 of 29. But the one big interception really took him Took him right out of a touchdown drive in that first period. First half, I should say. Reaves to throw. Airing it out downfield for Buggs. Trying to run under it. Can't. Almost intercepted. A trio of Denver Gold performers, Sullivan and Dumars and Miller, all down there trying to get it.
All right, Reaves going back. Now he's going to get hammered because the linebacker, Bearfield, came in, and they've got a back blocking on the linebacker. Bearfield, you're going to see him right there. He's the guy who hits Reaves at the end of this play. But Reaves should have never thrown this ball to Buggs, because Buggs had 3 people on him, and the guy that almost intercepted the ball was David Martin, number 13.
Second down and 10. Tampa Bay at the Bandits' 30-yard line. It is 13-3 in favor of the Denver Gold. Gilbert in motion. Pass for Gilbert to this side. Off the field of play. Running with him, stride for stride, Dumars. Boy, great coverage. There was double coverage.
There was double coverage, but Reaves hit the deck again. Georgia Tia, number 60, was the guy in there putting the heat on him. There's Spurrier talking to Danny Buggs.
Stevens, number 80, going out of the game as Buggs comes in. You see them cross paths. Drew double coverage. He's a new receiver just added to the Tampa Bay lineup. Danny Buggs is the number 6 man in the United States Football League statistically in completions. He had 22 catches coming into this ball game. 3rd and 10 at the 30. Nickel defense now for Denver. Reaves throws it complete to Buggs at the 42-yard line. That's first down country. Dumars is there along with Will Lewis, but it is a first down. The crowd thought that Buggs may have trapped it.
Tommy, take a look where Buggs goes. Now, we've been talking about not getting beyond the first down marker. Look where Buggs is. He knows it's right there at the 40. He gets beyond it. He gives himself a little bit of room to go to his knees, gets the first down. That's beautiful execution.
Well, he's a veteran receiver. He is hard to fool a guy like Danny Buggs. He's got great hands. He's been around. Had a great career in the National Football League, and he's having a dandy here in the United States Football League. First down now, the ball at the 41. Behind the line, Platt was hit on the delay, tried to get away, but spun down for a loss at about the 39-yard line. Gherkin, big Calvin Turner there as well.
Denver's gone back on first down, rushing the linebackers, because that time Bearfield, number 58, and Philip Kancic, number 51. Those are the guys that really hit flat in the backfield and moved it out so Gherkin can make the play. And that's 3 linebackers active in one play.
At the 39-yard line, it's going to be second down and 12. Tampa Bay with the ball and on the short end of the score. Again, the play action fake. Down. Had Buggs and threw it too high. Back on defense, Will Lewis. Buggs would have had to have been about 8 feet tall to get anywhere near that one. I couldn't help but notice that Eric Trevelyan was wide open.
All right, here comes the linebackers again. Now here's the all-out blitz. Number 50 is Gherkin. He's coming to the outside. 55 is Bill Winters, the center. Got grabbed by the jersey. You know, that's legal if you don't get caught.
Third down and 12 at the 39-yard line. Tampa Bay, as Buggs goes off the field of play, facing an obvious big third down situation now as Reaves walks up to the line of scrimmage. Reaves needs a first down. He's got his man Trevelyan. Spun down at about the 41-yard line. Dumars was there. And E.T. Eric Trevelyan with a big catch, and Reaves, to his credit, right on target. He hit his man beautifully.
First of all, let's take a look at it from the beginning. Look at the time that Reaves has. Denver blitzes 2 downs, and they don't blitz on 3rd down. Reaves has got all day to find Trevelyan, and look where he does. He sneaks it right in the middle of the zone, right down the middle, picks up the first down. I said this at the beginning of the game. Do not give Reaves that much time to throw the ball, because he'll kill you.
21 yards on that completion. Buggs is back in, set to the bottom of your screen. That's flat on the sweep. And about 10 yards before he dives out of bounds, feet first, down around the 29.
I said dives out of bounds. Wait till you see the end of this baby with Bud Choate. All right, here comes the blitz. That Kancic going right up over top. Now here's Platt coming down the sideline. Watch what happens for number 55. I don't know if he's diving. Is he diving out of bounds?
Feet first.
Yeah, he's diving. But Joe wanted to take his head off. Ended up with his ankles.
11 more yards. First and 10. The ball at the 29. Well, we spoke about Tampa Bay having to put together a drive to get back into this football game. They're down 13-3, and Reaves is doing his level best to do just that. Pavilion set wide to the left. Bugs to the right side. Stevens to the right side. Long count by Reaves. Here they come. He pumps. He goes down. Oh, my. Threw it short. Pavilion either ran the wrong route or Reaves had to throw it away. Got a big rush by Short. It was right in his face.
Here comes everybody. I'm talking about all the linebackers. They're coming. And then Reaves, Short is going to nail Reaves at the end. The reason he throws this thing away is because he had nothing else to do but either eat the ball or throw it away. And Short's there almost tore his arm off.
Second down 10. Tampa Bay, the ball at the Denver 29-yard line. Larry White comes out of the ball game now. May have a problem with his left arm or shoulder, maybe a pinched nerve. Comes to the sideline. Checking in is Andy Poremba, rookie out of Colorado State. Second and 10. Gilbert in motion. Reaves gets a rush. Platt bobbles it, has it. Close to 5. He's down around. Well, they're going to mark him at the 27. It'll be only 2 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and 8 as Choate was there to drive him out of bounds.
I like this linebacker, Butcho, because he covers a lot of grounds. Now, he's playing in the middle of the field. And what he's doing is he's picking up the back on a little swing pattern who is Platt, number 29, coming out of the backfield. And when you hold a guy like that to a 3-yard gain, you know you're moving it.
Steve Spurrier. Frustration written on his young face. Stevens comes out, one of the newest members of the Tampa Bay Bandits. In replacing him, Gillespie, a real speed merchant. He's to the top of your screen. You can just see his feet. To the bottom is Bugs, and Reaves is back to throw. This side, complete to Platt. Nice move, breaks a tackle, gets away from Choate. And that's no small accomplishment because Choate's a pretty active football player. He's everywhere in the field. It's a great move by Platt. He may have gotten the first down with it, Paul.
He does get the first down. He gets away from Bearfield also. Now, Reaves is not looking at him. Again, he is not the primary target, but watch what Platt does. There's Bearfield coming up. Now, he sees that red mark. He knows he's got to get beyond that. Number 13, David Martin, is also there, but Platt does pick up the first down.
At the 19-yard line, and the officials are asking for time, I think, to bring out the chain to measure it. I thought he had the first down, and I thought they were going to signal that, but they've not done so. So we'll wait for the chain, and it's always on the far side, is it not?
Yeah, well, no, they put the chain on the near side in one half and the far side the other way, but what happens on this marking of the ball, they had to get to the 19. The way the ball is marked, it's beyond the 19, so they should make it by half the length of the ball.
So what I meant was that when they go to measure, the chain is always on the far side of the field.
Yeah. And especially on the winter's day when you got the snow and the rain and all that stuff coming down. First down.
It is indeed at the 19-yard line, so Reaves is keeping this drive alive. It started on his own 16, and he has bunched him upfield now. He had a big pass completion on 3rd down to Eric Trevelyan. He's 23 of 38, and the one big interception happened right at the goal line and took him right out of touchdown territory in the first half. Bugs to this side of the field. Gillespie to the left.
Bugs is one-on-one over here, Tom.
Might have to go to him. I think Reaves is of the same opinion. He's got Bugs at the 7-yard line. That's a good call, Paul. Yeah, Martin was there. Martin's tough. But I tell you, covering this guy one-on-one is a full-time job.
And Martin knew that they're working with 19 yards and the 10 in the end zone, so you got 29 yards to work with. Martin dropped off like 12 yards. He said, I'll give you maybe the first down. I don't want to give it to you, but I'm not going to let you score and beat me into the corner. And Reaves did the smart thing. He saw Bugs out there one-on-one on Martin, ends up throwing the ball to him, picks up a first down. Good call.
Bugs goes across, and of course Martin, as Paul says, will give you some yardage, but boy, beat me deep and shame on me. And he just can't allow that to happen. As it is, 2nd and 3 at the 12-yard line. Straight ahead, Platt. Not 2nd down, it was first down. Ball is at the 7-yard line. No gain, and Platt Very slow to get up. In fact, or is it Flynn? Let's check it. No, it's the tight end. No, it's a guard. Norris, very slow to get up. And going to take time here. 13-3 Denver, but Tampa Bay threatening. The second time now, Spurrier has this team of his deep. He had a third down at the 23-yard line, and Dumars intercepted him at the goal line. And now he's got second and goal, and the ball is at the 7-yard line.
But, you know, when this drive first started, I said this is an important drive for him to get his confidence back. They've kept the ball now almost a little over 7 minutes.
Just under 8 minutes to go in this third period. Tampa Bay down 13-3. In the end zone, the lob for Buggs. He catches it right over Martin for the touchdown. Oh, beautiful catch by Buggs. Martin gave it his all. There's Buggs in the end zone. And Tampa Bay has gone 84 yards to the score.
Look at this. Now, Buggs, now watch what he does. He's not putting his hands up. He's looking at the ball all the way. Martin can't do anything. And by the time he turns, Buggs has already has the ball in his hands, and it's a touchdown. That was a perfect throw. Reaves could not have thrown the ball any better than he did right there.
For Reaves, that is his 9th touchdown of the year. His first tonight. 5 for the extra point. And position has it blocked. The try for the extra point is blocked. And so with time out on the field and 7:50 remaining in the third period, Denver rejoices again. The score, Denver goal 13, Tampa Bay Bandits 9. Bill Kancik down on the bench below us, injured, hurt, and in obvious pain. Boy, the look of anguish and pain on his face as he came off the field. And you can see him being held there by the trainer. I just don't know where the injury is, Paul. I thought for a moment it was his shoulder, and then they took him off, arms under, you know, with holding his shoulders up. I think it's a leg, and he's in obvious pain.
Well, he'd be missed because he's been having a great game.
No question about it. 3rd and 10. Great catch. Stevens this time, and a first down Tampa Bay at about the 17-yard line. Stevens, the newest addition to the Tampa Bay club, and he makes a big catch at another of the Denver club, down and shaken up, and another linebacker too. Here's Newton coming on now.
Tommy, I told you at the beginning of the game, you cannot give Reaves this much time. You've got to put some pressure on him. Take a look at that's Georgia T in the middle. He's got 3 guys blocking on him. Reaves has got all day. He sees Stevens come in the middle of the zone. That ball is high. Stevens went up and made a great catch. And I think that's Bearfield.
I think you're right, Paul. I think it is Bearfield. We're looking at Kancik, the injury to his right knee. We'll be back with more in a moment. I state overstating it. Kancik is in obvious pain on the sidelines. His right knee. Bungartz has gone in. Bearfield had come out. Running short of linebackers, it's going to really put a lot of pressure now on this Denver defense. Going in is Tommy Sullivan. 57 in the ball game is Bungartz. He's come on. Newton is in, number 53. Gherkin and Choate. That's the linebacking core. 17 yards on that last play. You see the time remaining, 6:56. 3 points won't do Tampa Bay any good. They're down by 4. They've got a first down at the 17, and they've been rolling. They started on their own 18. Reaves with time, going in the end zone. Incomplete. Flag down. Going to be pass interference. Pavilion was the intended receiver. What's your call on it, Paul?
It's face guarding against David Martin, number 13. You cannot put your hands up in the guy's face with your back to the ball. Now, take a look at right at the end. You're going to see Martin. You see where he puts his hands up? He puts his hands in his face. That's where they're calling the pass interference.
Now then, if they thought it was flagrant, why, they would bring it to the 1-yard line. Other than that, they might just take it half the distance to the goal line, and that's what they're going to do.
And I like this call. I really do, Tom. This is one of the great innovations in USFL football. If it's a flagrant call of pass interference, then the ball goes to where it's going to be. If it would in the end zone like this, all right, we'll listen to the call.
Defensive pass interference, number 13, would be a first down.
All right, now if it was a flagrant call, the ball would have been, as you said, on the 1-yard line. But the rule is in the USFL, if they don't think it's a flagrant foul, it's a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage or inside the 20. It's half the distance to the goal line.
Anywhere else on the field, if it's a flagrant one, it is effective there at where it happened. If it happens in the end zone and is called flagrant, then they put it on the 1. At any rate, at the 8-yard line, first and goal. On the sweep is Platt. At the 5. Short of the goal line, and down he goes. Well, this Denver defensive unit now, Paul, is going to be hard-pressed. Some of their key people on the sidelines, Kancik among others. Here's Platt, just a power sweep to the right.
All right, look at number 21 out front of him. That's Boone outside. Also Norris, number 66. He gets a block. Boone is the guy that gets out there with bare field, keeps the linebacker out there. Platt almost gets into the end zone. But I'm going to tell you something. In this second half, Tampa Bay took that ball and they drove the length of the field. Over 8 minutes, they kept the ball. This defense of Denver has been on the field an awful long time.
And injured, I might add, as well in the linebacker department. Second down and goal from the 1. Just under 6 minutes. Coming in motion, Pavilion. Again, it's Platt. He's in the end zone. Tampa Bay has gone 82 yards on this drive, and Platt scores. And for Platt now, that is his first touchdown of the night and his second of the year on the ground.
You know what happens? Number 21, David Dumars, gets out of position. He's the corner man. You're going to see him try to get back to the line of scrimmage. He can't do that. Boone, number 21, blocks him. He gets a good block, and Platt goes in for the touchdown. All right, let's watch it again. Platt, he knows he's only got a yard to go, and there's no way you're going to stop me. We need the touchdown.
It is 15-13 now, and we'll see about Zenon Andrushishin and his try for the extra point. It's successful. It's up, and it's good. And that puts Tampa Bay up by 3. There's a lot of time left in this football game. We'll see if Denver, been slightly dormant in the second half, can rebound and put a drive together. It's a funny game. Momentum. Ah, what a fickle lady she is. She swung to Tampa Bay in the second half, and to their credit, the Bandits, down 13-3 at the half, have battled their way back to take a 3-point advantage.
All right, now we're talking about the defense of Denver being on the field for a long time. They say, you say in a situation, the offense is rested. Not so, because of the cold weather. These guys are tight now. You've got your quarterback that's been sitting out for 7 or 8 minutes, longer than that because of the injuries and penalties. So he's been out for almost 15 minutes. He's cold on the sideline. The receivers are cold. Their hands are cold. And it's going to be tough for them to get back into the flow of this thing. And if Tampa can stuff them down deep, it's going to be hard for them to come out because they are not throwing the ball that well.
Following this telecast, Sports Center with Sharon Smith and Bob Lee. Stay tuned for it. They'll have all the highlights, among other things, of this United States Football League encounter. There's Robert Red Miller, his team, as he talks with Ken Johnson, his quarterback, tied at 3-2 record-wise with the Los Angeles Express for the Pacific Division lead. And L.A. goes against Philadelphia tomorrow in Los Angeles, which will be a pretty good ball game, too.
And another thing, Tom, that we talked about, the conservative play of Denver in the second half.
Teams do that, though, and you see it all the time, and you say to yourself, always second-guessing, why would they do that? Why do they throw away what got them on top, and they go into kind of a shell?
Exactly. Why stop doing the things that got you the 13 points and sit back and let a team catch you, and especially a team with the offensive power of Tampa Bay?
That's B, number 82, awaiting Zenon Andrushishin's kickoff, which is not that deep. B is at the 10, 15, the 20. Well, I tell you, that takes some courage. You know, he's not the biggest guy in the world, and he just jumped into that welter of bodies. Hit there by Gettiker, number 45. There's the scoring drive, 82 yards, as we told you. That really is a very good drive. And it took 5-12, kept that defense on the field for an interminable length of time. Banged him up. Kancik, injured, right knee. And now we'll see if Denver, down by 3, not insurmountable. A field goal puts this a deadlock game as Kenny Johnson brings him to the line of scrimmage. He has James set wide to the right side. He's a lone wide receiver. 2 tight ends to bookend the line. Coming in motion is Sidney. Johnson looking to this side. Gets the ball to Canada. It's a block. Crosses the 25 to the 26-yard line. Clark was there. Bedoin coming up also. In fact, Bedoin kind of staggered to his feet.
You run into Canada full blast, and I guarantee you're going to stagger to your feet.
You know, I marvel at these cornerbacks. They have the most difficult, I think, task in all of pro football. They've got to have the speed to run with 9-6 wide receivers. They've got to have the courage to step in and knock a full steam 230-pound back off his feet. And most of them are 5'10", and weigh 190 pounds.
And I would come back with that same play, Denver, because the Tampa Bay Bandits defense did not adjust, and they had Sidney out here by himself.
Second and fourth, the 31, and Sidney's in the open and brought down at the 47-yard line. 16 yards and a 1st and 10.
Take a look at this hole. Now you've got Canada coming up in. Keith Clark, number 56, the linebacker, gets himself taken to the outside by Glenn Hyde, number 65, the guard. And that hole was wide open. Sidney, when you get him in the open field, look out.
Edwards came over along with Bedoin to bring down Sidney, who really is a stylish runner in the open field. I mean, we're talking about a 218-pound back. 405, clock ticking down. Remember, Denver trails by 3, and they've moved out to their own 47. One wide receiver. That's James in motion. 2 tight ends bookending the line. Johnson back to throw. Over the middle. Caught by his tight end. Dropped at the line of scrimmage for little or no gain. Great reaction. Bedoin and Rainey right there.
All right, the big man, Zolik, number 89. He's just setting up now. He's going to drift out, and you're right. It gets back to the line of scrimmage. There's no gain on this play. And Zolik's going to try to beat somebody. Bedoin is the man that gets in there. And look at him hanging onto his leg. Just waiting for help to get there.
Like a terrier. Got you by the cuff and not going to let you go. Well, they're going to give him a yard to the 48. That, I think, illustrates the point I tried to make, perhaps badly, a moment ago, about the cornerbacks and the safeties. Look at the size of Zolik. We're talking 6'5", 235. It's a giant-sized human being. 2nd and 9 at the 48. Denver with the ball and down by 3. 2:58 to go in this game. Over the middle, complete. And again, the tight end on the reception, this time short of the first down. Zolik is down to about the 44-yard line of Tampa Bay. Bedoin is there again to bring him down.
Tom, Ken Johnson has thrown one long ball this whole game, and that was at the end of the half to air it out. Tampa Bay knows he's going to throw the short stuff. I would play one-on-one on the wide receivers and bring your safeties up to help with the short men, the tight end, and the backs coming out into the backfield.
Mars come in now. Another tight end. Sidney has the first down and more as he steps over the line of scrimmage to the 38-yard line before Porowski and Edwards can bring him down. We're coming down to the 2-minute warning now.
All right, he's got big Larry Canada out in front of him, and Sidney knows who to follow. I'll follow the big man, let them take him. He jumps over the line of scrimmage, and he picks up 10 yards.
We've got one of the Bandits down, and the 2-minute warning now here in the 4th period. Denver on the march. 10 times is being helped off the field. The big guy going off basically under his own power. 6'2", 255 pounds out of Southern University. Started to jog off and thought better of it.
A little hitch there in his get-along.
Really, some kind of tough game when you can debilitate a man that size, really, and make him go off with a limp.
All right, Tommy, what's going to happen out in Denver, which I think they're going to do, which they've been doing the whole game? Possession football, the short patterns. What they're thinking about is field goal to tie this game up. That's number 1. To come away with at least a field goal in this thing. If the touchdown is there, then they'll go for that ball. But I don't see him throwing that long bomb, and they're picking away at Tampa Bay's defense short, continue to do so.
Spielman, whom you're looking at the sidelines, has 2 field goals already tonight, 29 and 26 yards. First down, the ball is at the 37-yard line. Denver has it deep in Tampa Bay territory, but they're down by 3. Johnson to throw in the flat for Canada. To the 30, the big back to the 28. What a great second effort by Canada. The crowd loves it.
Tom, the linebackers are not flying out, and the guy I'm talking about is Keith Clark. They are not lining up and coming out on Canada. They're letting him run out here all by himself. Watch where Keith Clark has to come from. Way from the backside. He's not even close to the play, and Canada picks up momentum, and he's going to pick up 7 or 8 yards. This time he picks up 11. Take a look at Canada. Power back. Bedoin is there, but it's a little bit too late. You've got to get the linebackers covering these guys closer.
2nd and 1 at the 29. Denver driving. Time 1:14. Here's Sidney trying to come outside. Breaks the tackle. Down the sideline. Bumped out of bounds. Maybe a touchdown saving play by Bedoin. At about the 14-yard line, first down, the clock stopped. Denver on the move.
Clark commits himself to the inside. He takes on Canada. But this man, number 33, Jeff George, does not get himself in a football position to make a tackle on Sidney, and he has him in the backfield. He just goes straight at him. Sidney gives him a little juke, goes by him, and he picks up another first down.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. They say he stepped out of bounds. Probably the most composed man in the park is here, Robert Red Miller. Nothing seems to bother the old coach on the sidelines below us. Tampa Bay by 3, 1:08 remaining in this game. And Denver with a big drive, their best of the second half.
Maybe not outside, but you can bet anything inside. He's tearing his guts out.
James in motion, back to throw. Johnson looking for the end zone. Almost intercepted. Oh, Glenn Edwards, center fielder, free safety. Boy, how many years has he looked at that play in professional football, and he had it all but picked off, and Pine just had it pop out of his hand.
Remember I said about going deep? All right, Ken Johnson's going to do this. He's not reading the free safety, Glenn Edwards. Glenn Edwards sits back, and now he comes in position. He has that ball. He should have had the interception.
Right again, Paul, indeed, and Edwards would be the first guy to tell you that he should have picked that off and stopped this Denver drive. As it is, clock stopped, minute 2 to go, 2nd down and 10 at the Tampa Bay 19. James to this side. B set wide to the left. Backs are split. Play action. No, the give to Bo Matthews. Carries it to the 15 on the delay. Horowski is there to make the stop. Timeout being taken by Denver now. Big Bo out of Colorado. Had quite a run with the San Diego Chargers. Better known as a blocking back tonight. Ball carrier, but a talented pro to be sure. All right, 54 seconds remain. We'll be right back. Down below, Red Miller talks with Johnson. I thought for a moment we could eavesdrop. Boy, tension and strategy about 10 cents a ton now, Paul McGuire.
And I'll say the play
coming on at James.
The play I would go with is take those guys and run them down. Now you got Terry Miller coming in.
Replacing Sidney.
Sidney's going out. They're not covering the fullback, who happens to be Bo Matthews at this point. They were not covering Canada. And the guy I'm talking about is Keith Clark, number 56. He's going straight back instead of wide out to the outside to pick up the fullback. I would go to that play again, get that fullback floating out into the flat, and just dump the ball to him.
3rd down and 7 at the 16-yard line. 16-13 Tampa Bay. You see how much time remains. Back to throw Johnson. Gets the rush from Tynes. Incomplete. Down the far side. Tried to hit Miller. Some fresh legs. There's Johnson, and the price he paid knocked flat on his wallet. Rolls over ever so slowly, but Gutty up he gets. Johnson literally took this quarterback job away from Jeff Knapple. Knapple had it when the season started and did not do well in the first 2 games, which Denver lost, and Johnson took over. And now we're going to see about the field goal. Spielman has kicked 2 tonight, 29 and 26. Actually, he kicked 3, but one they did not take advantage of. Instead, had to settle for another. So he's kicked 2 officially. Came into the game 1 of 2, so he is now 3 of 4.
And what's going to happen, Tampa Bay, if they kick the field goal, Tampa Bay is going to get the ball back with about 44 seconds left to go and 3 timeouts, and that's enough for that team to get into field goal range.
16-13. The effort, if Spielman indeed does try the field goal and is successful, will tie this game. Conceivably, we'd go to overtime. It is 4th and 7 at the 16th, and the field goal try will be 33 yards. It's within his range, to be sure.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say they won't take it.
I would think not. Knapple is the holder. The snap. He's got it away. It's good. Game is tied. 46,000 fans, highly partisan for their Denver gold. Fieldman gets the congratulations of one and all, and now he's going to kick off, and Red Miller is telling him what to do with the football, where he wants it kicked. And 45 seconds remain. But you know, for a ball club that didn't have really much of an opportunity in the second half to move the ball, Denver's offense really got geared up and got together for that drive, Paul, to get this game tied.
Yeah, to me it was surprising, but again, you can't play that kind of defense, and I am blaming it on the defensive linebacker and the safety man to leave that running back, whether it be the fullback or the halfback, to come out of that backfield free like that and give him a 6-yard head start.
We've got more USFL thrills for you coming up Monday night. Jim Simpson and Don Heinrich will be in our nation's capital. The Wranglers go against the Federals. If memory serves correct, why Craig James will be back. Hohensee, the talented young quarterback out of Minnesota, will be back for Washington. You'll see Alan Risher, standout quarterback for the Arizona Wranglers. Should be an outstanding ball game. We hope you'll join Simpson and Heinrich for that one Monday night.
Tom, you know what's surprising? Now you put Boone back there, and he's got pretty good speed. But where's Gillespie, the guy, the flyer, the guy that you want that can break it all the way? There's Boone back to number 21, the spot that Gillespie's been taking.
He's on the far side over there. You know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering why there aren't more skilled people up at the line of scrimmage for the possibility of an onside kick. But he gets it away. It's coming to Boone at the 10. Out to about the 28-yard line. 40 seconds now on the clock here in the fourth period, and Tampa Bay will start 1st and 10 at their own 28.
Let me just clarify something. The reason there would be no onside kick, Tom, they're kicking the ball from the 35-yard line. That would mean that they would give Tampa Bay, if they got the ball at the 45-yard line, in their territory. And all they needed would be one first down to get a field goal. So it was absolutely, I would say it was impossible to even think about kicking an onside kick. But stranger things have happened.
Well, you know, Red Miller has trick-played a lot of people so far in these 5 games his club has been in. 40 seconds now. Reaves, hands off. Big opening. Boone stiff arms the guy, breaks the tackle. Bumped down. Will Lewis makes the stop. Boone carries to about the 33-yard line. About a 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5. 30 seconds. Timeout taken by Tampa Bay, and Reaves goes over to talk to Spurrier. And the man with him over there is Stevens, new addition to the Tampa Bay Ball Club. Stevens caught a big pass in that touchdown drive of the Tampa Bay Bandits, the drive that saw them go on top 16-13, short-lived as it was, 82-yard drive.
What Reaves has to do, now they let 10 seconds run off that clock. And Reaves has got to find the referee and tell the referee, say, look, stick with me. As soon as that play is down, I want to call a timeout. He had to, instead of running up to the official, he walked up to him, wasted 3 seconds. You know, you're in the heat of the game. I'm glad I'm here and not down there where he is. But you've got to have presence of mind now, especially at this point in the game, because all you have to do is move that ball another 35 yards and you've got yourself a field goal try.
Andrew Zishin's longest field goal of the season to date, 43 yards, in case you're thinking of where they'd have to get that football to give Zenon a chance to kick it through for him. Reaves talking like a Dutch uncle to his teammates, Mackey and the rest of the offensive line. He's got Bugs in there, number 88. He has Pavilion in there, number 84, as his wide receivers.
You're going to attack Denver's defense, especially in their prevent defense, because they're going with their linebackers, 4 linebackers and only 4 defensive backs. Right in the middle of the field is where you want to attack them.
2nd down and 5 at the 33. 30 seconds. That's the important item. Giving ground, Reaves going to be hit, but he gets it loose downfield, and it is intercepted. Picked off, grabbed by Dumars, his 2nd interception of the night. And with 22 seconds now, Denver will take over on their own 42 and will have a chance to put that ball in field goal position.
First of all, this ball is not thrown far enough. Unless you have somebody open, he was throwing the ball at Bugs. You better throw the ball out of bounds, and Reaves doesn't do that. He really doesn't have any heat. He gets hit late, but take a look at where the ball is thrown. That ball is thrown about 6 yards short of Bugs, and there is Mr. Dumars making the interception. Well, look at Bugs. That ball is way short of Bugs. Dumars has the presence of mind to get both feet in bounds.
I was just going to say that, Paul. What a great play by Dumars, who has 4 interceptions now, 2 tonight. And Reaves has got to think that he has been personally victimized by number 21. And indeed he has. The ball is just outside the 41. 22 seconds remain in this ball game. 16-16 time. Can Johnson rally Denver to a win? Scampering, flag down. We've got it complete, but I think we're going to have our first holding call of the night.
You're going to have a holding call on number 74, Steve Rogers, and he was holding number 74 10 times. The guy that limped off a little while ago is back in the ball game.
Holding is the call against Denver, and that, with 13 seconds left now, may very well signal we're going to be here for some extra moments in overtime.
You're going to see up on the top side, number 74, Steve Rogers is holding at times. Now, you can't see him. There it is right there. Rogers 74 on time 74. Nice pass. Again, the tight end's open in the middle, and that's where you want to attack. The prevent defense is in the middle of the field. The prevent defense is designed to keep the guy from getting the short out-of-bounds pass and get out of bounds and stop the clock. So they leave a little bit of an opening in the middle. And that's where I thought Reaves was going to attack. He went to the outside where there were a bunch of people, especially Dumars.
Well, he had a chance to complete that pass. He just didn't get it far enough downfield. Bugs was behind Dumars, and Dumars stepped up inside him to make the interception. The ball is at the 37 now. 12 seconds. Johnson rushed, hit, going to be blown dead. As in there on top of him was Ramey. 8 seconds now, and they're going to mark him for the sack back at the 25. It's going to be second down and a rifle shot now.
Well, everybody was in the backfield, and Ramey, number 78, he just does a great job. He beats Hoppick, number 72, the offensive tackle, and he did the smart thing. He just kind of held him up. Denver's going to take the time. Well, there's no timeout. I thought they would take a timeout and at least try to throw a bomb.
Well, they didn't want somebody to run it back, maybe have a flag, and still give Tampa Bay a chance to win it. At any rate, Spurrier's happy he's got a deadlock, at least at the end of regulation play. Will be going to an overtime. Spurrier leads some cheers across the way. Miller down below rallying his troops. Wants everybody down for a huddle. The defense is at one side, and they're down talking to the offense at the other end. Now, everybody gets together around head coach Miller down below us. 16-16. There'll be a couple of moments now, and then they're going to flip again to see who gets the coin toss, who will receive, and of course, sudden death. Whoever scores first is going to go out of here with the win.
Well, the wind is from our right to our left, so I would imagine that the kicking team will kick from our right to our left. But this is, this is where the beginning of the game, you'd like to get the ball first, but it's not that important. Right now it is.
16-16 at the end of 4 periods of play. It was 13-3 Denver at the half, and back came Reaves and the Tampa Bay Bandits and took a 16-13 lead. And all of that happened.
Tampa Bay got the ball.
Indeed, 5:43 remaining in the ball game. Back came Denver, and Tampa Bay is going to receive in this overtime now. And with 45 seconds left in the regulation play, why, a field goal tied it. We'll be back for the extra period of play right after this. So we go to overtime, and it'll be Denver kicking off. In the meantime, we're still deliberating over Budweiser's player of the game. A lot of candidates. There's Boone, and of course there's Platt for the Tampa Bay Ball Club. Deep kick in the end zone, and Boone's coming out. Fine effort by Boone. Boy, he's a hard-running, hard-working back. He brought that ball out to the 25. Tackle was made by Canada. And literally, that's about a 27, 28-yard return to that kickoff from out of the end zone. Kind of a nail-biter back there for coaches. But he came out and brought it upfield and very nearly got to the sideline to escape. Put it at the 27, first and 10.
Now we know why Boone is back there. Because he's a power runner, and he's going to hold on to the football. He's not going to drop or cough the ball up, excuse me. It's a good call.
16-16. We start the overtime now. High formation. Reaves the quarterback. Now the back shift. Strong to the left. Reaves going for Buggs down and throws it off the field of play. Buggs got involved with Will Lewis over there and actually shoved Lewis away. I don't know but what Lewis might have shoved him first.
Well, there was a little shoving going on, but the only problem is there's double coverage. They're short and long. Lewis has got Buggs short. You're going to see Sullivan, number 32, come into the picture. He's got him deep, and Lewis is playing so well. If there's any push at all, it's on Buggs, but the ball was thrown out of bounds.
2nd and 10 at the 27-yard line. Buggs checks out. Platt comes back in. He's one of our Budweiser player of the game candidates. We've got several out there. We just have not made up our mind. I think we can understand why. We're deadlocked here. 16-16. 2nd and 10 at the 27th. On the delay, straight ahead. Boone. That was Platt carrying. Wrapped up by the middle of that defensive line for Denver.
They went to the well one too many times with the draw play. You're going to see the draw again. They're setting it up, but they have been passing the football. And Platt just gets nailed right at the line of scrimmage by Larry White, number 91. No place to go, and now they're coming with the nickel defense. The 4 down linemen. Georgia T is in the game, number 60, and 5 defensive backs, and the guy in there is Ricky Haar, number 17.
3rd down and 8 at the 29-yard line. Buggs to the left, Trevelyan to the right. Tampa Bay with the ball. We're in overtime at 16 all. Reaves to throw. Has time. Downfield. Buggs has it. 1st down at the 39-yard line. Oh, what a great catch, and what a hit by Dumars, who literally, while Buggs was in midair, tried to pull him back from 1st down territory.
You know, Buggs knows that he has to catch the football. Watch the concentration by Danny Buggs. Number 88. There are 6 defensive backs in the game and not 5. But watch Buggs. He's there, just makes the catch. That's the most important thing. And again, let me just say, he gets beyond the 1st down marker.
Dumars tried to jerk him back in midair to keep the down marker, but it's 1st down Tampa Bay at the Tampa Bay 39-yard line. Overtime. On the delay. And again, White is waiting for Platt and wraps him up. Well, Reaves trying to mix him up in there, but White will have none of it. Here's big Larry White out of Jackson State. 6'3", 260 pounds. How do you do?
Yeah, I'll tell you, he's having his last 2 draw plays, and the guy that's trying to block him is number 62, Ron Mikulovic, and he can't handle him. If they can never get by White, there is an open area.
Robert Young explaining to Steve Spurrier what's going on and hold everything. We're going to have a timeout. Ball is at the 38-yard line. Something like it is that Denver's asking for a timeout. Coming over is Gherkin. Gherkin comes over while Reaves is across the way with Spurrier. And now Gherkin comes over. Denver took out a lot of linebackers and threw in a lot of extra defensive backs here a moment ago.
Well, they just did it again. They've got Ricky Haar in the game. And he is one of the deep backs. And if I'm not mistaken, they're going to that 6 defensive back situation. And they're giving a little bit too much ground by the short guys. And if I'm going to throw against this thing, I want to throw in the middle of the field where you spread them out, because you're getting double on each side. That's double coverage on both wide receivers by a corner and a safety. The other 2 men are trying to help out on one on the tight end and one on the back coming out of the backfield. So it leaves that middle open. There's about a 6-yard span in there where the middle is open.
Gherkin visiting on the side, getting some instructions. Bearfield comes over and comes out as Gherkin goes in, following this telecast. Sports Center, Sharon Smith and Bob Lee. They'll be on hand to bring you all the highlights. Been a dandy struggle. Well, and I hope you've enjoyed it. The ball is at the 38-yard line. We're in overtime. 12.5 minutes to go. 46,000 fans on hand here. It's been a great, thoroughly enthusiastic, highly vocal crowd cheering on the Denver Globe. Both Buggs and Cox up to the left side. Trevelyan now flanked wide to the left. Reaves, 2nd and 10. Tried to get a little stop and go with Trevelyan. Will Lewis influenced that, and Reaves just threw it off the field of play incomplete.
That ball just took off on Reaves. It went high, and it's a good thing it did because Will Lewis is there. All right, let's take a look at the secondary. There's 32 Sullivan. Okay, on the top of the screen, 21 is Dumars. See how they're playing short and long? Lewis played the play very well on Trevelyan, and he's got Dumars coming over to help him on anything deep.
Third down and a long 10 at the 39.
But again, when you look at it, Tommy, the middle of the field is open.
Reaves comes to the line of scrimmage, his own 39-yard line. 12:25 remaining in this overtime period. Game tied at 16. Good protection. Reaves with a lot of time. Has his man open at midfield to the 48-yard line, and that's Platt. Still another reception by Platt. Unofficially, that's 12 receptions for Platt. And from his 39 to the Denver 48-yard line, it's going to be 13 more yards, and he's got about 86 unofficially through the air.
Platt just set up behind the line and waited till the tight end Gilbert cleared out, and he just came underneath him, and it was just nobody to cover him.
Tampa Bay battling back after a truly terrible performance against Chicago. Reaves victimized with 4 interceptions by Bradley. He's been intercepted by Dumars twice here tonight. He had his club on top, 16-13. Come on, my. Jumping across the line, flags everywhere. Platt driving inside the 40, tackled, brought down by Bungartz. But I've got to believe it's offside against Tampa Bay. Mackey, you think, eh, Paul?
Mackey took off a little too soon, number 60, unless they say the defensive man in the encroachment, but I don't think so.
Kamansky, the referee, visiting now and coming over to get the football, bringing it back to Kamansky, who will walk it off and give us the call. It's going to be against Tampa Bay. It'll be 5, and it comes back to the Tampa Bay 47.
Here you go.
Ball start. Offense. Repeat the down. First down.
Well, for you lip readers, Mackey offside. I don't know if Kamansky's microphone is not working, apparently.
It's called a false start.
I wonder what Spurrier will tell Mackey it was when he slaps him with a little fine.
I know you were excited about that terminology.
Bugs to the left. Pavilion is flanked to the near side. First down and 15, Tampa Bay. Flag down, and Gilbert is accused by Bearfield of moving.
All right, you got to understand something, that the tight end can move. He's on the line of scrimmage, as long as he doesn't get down in a set position, so he can get up and move. Bearfield saw him move, and I don't see how you can call this unless he's down. It should be against Denver on Bearfield.
Illegal procedure against Denver.
There it is.
Paul. Look at Red Miller. He hates it. Good call, Paul. Good call.
Did you say he didn't get excited? When did you say that?
Well, a moment ago, when they kicked the field goal to tie it, he looked like Mr. Composure. So the ball goes back now to the 48-yard line. That's where it was a moment ago, and it's 1st and 10.
Tight end move. Backwards.
Let me just explain one
and a call.
Explain why Kamansky's mic isn't working.
Well, I don't understand that, but Bearfield, you got to understand something, young man. That tight end, as long as he doesn't get down in the 3-point stance, he is allowed to move.
Indeed, he can flip-flop from one end of the line to the other. He can go in motion. He can step back into the backfield and assume a position there. 1st and 10 at the 48 of Denver now. We're in overtime, and Reaves back to throw. Comes to this block. Bearfield.
Well, Bearfield just made up for it.
2nd down and 10. Flag across the way. Going to call defensive holding against Denver.
Here comes the... actually, we had almost a penalty-free ball game. I mean, nothing drastic in this game, and then all of a sudden, getting down near the end of the game, the tempers are flaring a little bit, and that's an automatic first down.
We've got an illegal chuck on the defense.
Illegal first down. Calling against the defense, and now Spurrier wags. Wade looks like he was working on his putting stroke for a moment there. I don't know what all that means, but I'm sure it means something. The young Reaves, the quarterback, put it at the 43-yard line. It is 1st down and 10. Tampa Bay on the move in this overtime session, tied at 16. First team to score.
One more first down, and you're in field goal range.
Trevelyan in motion, pitches back. Here's Platt on the sweep. maybe a yard to the 42. It'll be 2nd and 9. I remind you again, Zenon in position. Kicker, field goal man, Hunter, 43 yards has been his longest of the year. Zenon has a field goal.
Well, right now, this one would be about a 59-yarder or a 60-yarder.
Yeah.
So, but he did it. You know, earlier in this era up here is amazing for kickers with nobody there and just the holder in the center. He was kicking him 62 yards.
Yeah, I know. He brought a look of admiration on your face. 2nd down at the 42-yard line. Bugs wide to the left. Reaves gets a rush. Long downfield, Trevelyan. He's got it. Down at the 15, the 14-yard line, he beat Martin. Martin wrestled him to the turf. Talk about field goal range. Beautifully thrown pass. And a great catch by E.T. Eric Trevelyan.
You know, Trevelyan was there. This ball is so beautifully thrown because Martin was there. He couldn't have covered Trevelyan any better, except Trevelyan caught the ball. But take a look where this pass goes. Look at Trevelyan. He screens himself away from the defender. Martin is right there. He's got his hand out in front of him. No pass defense, no pass interference on the defense, and that ball was perfect.
We point up again the troubles that cornerback safeties have. Trevelyan right there is 6'4", 205 pounds. Martin, as gifted as he is, 5'9" and 180. In motion, Gillespie. Straight ahead, flat, booming to the 10-yard line or thereabouts. At the 11, they say. It'll be 2nd down and 7 after a gain of 3 at the 11. And they've got that ball dead in the middle of the field now. We'll see Spurrier and Reaves eyeballing each other. Reaves is much saying, well, how close do you want us to get it?
Kick it now. I'm telling you.
Every time you handle it, you run the risk of not handling it, don't you?
You betcha. You got a kicker in there. It would be about a 29-yard field goal, and Anderson can kick the ball very well. Reaves is looking over there getting some signals. I would imagine what they'll do right here is just run 2 more plays, but keep the ball in the middle of the field. Denver's got to know that. Watch out, come out and throw.
I really don't know why they're running anymore, to be honest with you, Paul. 2nd down at the 11-yard line, 2nd and 7. The handoff to Boone, and Boone is at the 5. Well, that's why Boone scores. Well, I guess 6 is as good as 3, and perhaps it's twice as good. At any rate, Tampa Bay dominating play with one exception in the second half has come on in overtime to win it. And some of the fans have been unhappy. Tampa Bay now goes to 5-1.
Take a look at this, and this is a little quick draw play to the halfback. You see Platt come up and get Bungart's number 57, Platt 29. Great block on a linebacker. Sullivan misses the tackle on Boone, and it's lights out, boys.
Into the end zone. Boone does the little skip and dance. 6 more points, and Tampa Bay has won it 22-16.
And Sam Platt is our Budweiser player of the game, but he gets a great block. Boone runs over Sullivan. There's no one there. Dumars can't slow him down. Boone's into the end zone. Touchdown. Beautiful.